Good luck to Thiago and to everybody else. Matt Neal World Touring Car Championship has only raced here once at Spa before. 2 epic encounters then in 2005. And looking forward to this because, again, this track just produces great races because it is a great racing track. That's why it's a legendary circuit, because it always produces not just a challenge for the driver, not just a technical challenge for the team, but great racing for the fans.
Yeah, it's Thiago just going through a lot of the list of things he's got to focus on, make sure up to correct temperature, brakes, tyres. You know, and another thing, because it's a standing start, is making sure the clutch, these racing clutches, if they're not really hot, they can snatch. And if they snatch, you can get too much wheel spin, so you've got to make sure they're nice and hot. Then the cushion element of them works, and you can slip them a bit better to try and get that power down, because getting 400 horsepower down through the front wheels very quickly is a bit of a challenge. But going back to lap 1, the real danger man for the 3 Citroens could be Hugo Valente. He was blindingly fast through that first sector. No one could match him, even the Citroens in qualifying. He seems to be super brave through Eau Rouge. So yeah, there's a lot of oil down there, isn't there?
Yeah, that's Dusan Vorkovic's car, which was hemorrhaging oil all the way around on the way to the grid, and then caught fire briefly on the grid. The Serbian driver right at the very back, you see the red, white and blue. And, you know, that's not what you want when you've just changed the engine in the car, is it? You want it actually to be nice and oil tight and to work well. You'd be taking it straight back to the dealer if that's what happened to your road car. So Varmola leads them up to the bus stop for the last time at non-racing speed. Sebastian Loeb will start alongside him. Jose Maria Lopez, the championship leader, in 3rd. And Lopez, after failing to start at all, his car didn't get off the grid in race 2 in China, now needs another clean race weekend. He can afford to give away points to his 2 championship rivals, the other 2 Citroen drivers. He doesn't want to, but he can afford to if push comes to shove. Tension high in the Lada garage with the Chilton family at Roal Motorsport, with the Castrol Honda team and all the other private teams up and down the grid as we form up. Red and yellow slippery surface flag by Dusan Vorkovic's grid spot. And we are ready to go here at Spa-Francorchamps. So the start for round 13 of the FIA World Touring Car Championship. Ivan Muller on the left of your screen, on pole position. The green flag waves at the back of the grid. Sebastian Loeb on the right, Jose Maria Lopez 3rd on the grid, and Hugo Valente 4th with the bright yellow. Away they go. We don't see the lights from this side. Hopefully the driver's got it right. Muller with Loeb slotting in behind. Lopez 3rd under pressure. Valente has got Tarquini up the inside and will be forced out wide. And Valente goes very wide indeed. Now he's going to have to insinuate himself back alongside Gabriele Tarquini. Matt Neal behind him, Montero, and the black car of Michelic are going to go wheel to wheel into Eau Rouge, as does Valente and Tarquini, and there was a touch, and the Italian is slow off the corner. He is going to be dead in the water.
Oh, it was a case of who was the bravest. But the
Panning out. Look at Morbidelli. Morbidelli's got a great run out of Eau Rouge, and he is going straight by this on the outside on his own as Muller defends. Loeb, Lopez and Valente 1, 2, 3, 4, and everyone else in 5th position as Morbidelli gets 5th place. Wow.
That's like a scene from Ben-Hur.
Benani goes 6 or 7 places up the order. He's going to have to give them all back as he comes back on. Qinghua Ma avoiding contact. No dramas so far. Well, dramas, but no contact so far. Michelic with Huff around the outside at Rivage.
Fantastic first few corners from Morbidelli, but the gaps just seem to open up for him at the right point. And the Chevy has got a good, strong top end on its engine, so that would have paid him dividends down the long straight. That's
what you need, though. You need those brakes in traffic at the start when it's a big cluster like that of cars right in front of you. And that was all because Tarquini and Valente got together in Eau Rouge. Tarquini then very slow out of Rédillon, the left-handed exit of Eau Rouge, and onto the straight, and everybody bunched up behind him because he was desperately trying to hold them all off. And on the oil, ooh, that is Kozlowski.
That's Huffy.
Oh, it's Huffy on the oil. He found the oil that Dusan Vorkovic left on the way to the grid, and he may not be the only one who discovers that before the end of the lap.
Cases like that with the oil, you just got to trust and hope. The car turns into it in front of you, and you've just got to You just got to follow him through.
You've got to try and straddle it, but sometimes you just can't. Mikulits up the inside of Bennani. And the battle for the lead, Loeb versus Muller. Muller's got the advantage, track position, Loeb all over him at the moment.
More oil down here as well.
Well, Dusan's car was leaving it everywhere. I think the quick dry is down where the marshals could get to it in time. Tarquini goes inside Bennani. He's now right behind Mikulic in the black car. Lead four still away, but Valente being dropped by the Citroens, Matt. He can't stay with them even with a slipstream, it seems.
Tarquini's had an awful first lap, but Montero's had a cracker from 10th. He's right up to 6th and he's on the move. Yeah,
and Morbidelli from 9th on the grid is in 5th, and they may get closer to Hugo Valente, because Valente is being left by the Citroens. Morbidelli's pulling away, and Morbidelli lacking nothing in commitment in Eau Rouge. The car's really wriggling and twitching. Saw Quinquamar there, his Citroen, you know, snapping away at both the front and the rear. On board with Lopez, getting the toe off Loeb, but can't go the long way around the outside. Valente braking desperately late to try and stay with them.
Valente's actually just set the fastest first sector of the race, so he's just blindingly brave, or he's got the car really working well through Eau Rouge in that first sector.
Borkovic sandbags Mar there and goes around the outs of him from 11th. Borkovic has got up to 11th place, so the engine might not have been great on the way to the grid, but it seems to be A-OK now. Valente running out very wide again in Pouhon, as he did in qualifying. And drivers have been told that track limits must be respected in the race as well. Borkovic flirting with the exit of the corner there in the background. As we watch Norbert Mikulic, who didn't really get the car turned in properly there into the first part of the double left-hander at Pouhon.
I just saw a medical car flash past the edge of our commentary box.
He may just have finished his out lap behind the back of the field. They are on lap 2. Let's take a look again. Muller gets a great start, flags waving for... Oh, Tom Chilton didn't get off the grid. Didn't notice that as we were looking at the front of the field. He did get started last of all, and he's now up to 15th, actually. A good getaway from Muller. Really needed that. Loeb tucked in behind him, fending off Lopez, and everybody else somehow scrabbled through.
Bit of touchy-feely there.
Yeah. Who was behind Mikulic? That might have been Montero tapping him up the backside. No penalties, no fouls so far. Muller trying to break away, and now he has. It's Loeb and Lopez, look, right together as Kozlowski battles with Chilton. Contact at the bus stop. Kozlowski stays in front just. Tom Chilton trying to come back up the order, though. And this is the battle now for 13th place. So the Chevys looking very quick here. Wherever they've started, they've been able to slice their way up the field. And now look at Muller. As the battle of Loeb and Lopez develops, Muller is running away, Matt, which is exactly what he needed.
Well, there's two things here. Either Muller can make the break while Loeb starts to defend to Lopez, or if these two got any brains, they'd work together and use the slipstream to pull Muller back in. But I think they're too busy fighting each other.
I think Lopez is savvy enough that he'll sit behind Loeb and let the two of their cars, quicker than Muller on its own, creep up there. This is one of the strange, perplexing things about aerodynamics, is those two cars will be better together through the air than Muller is on his own.
Yeah, on the flip side, Martin, if Lopez thinks he's faster, and he does look faster than Loeb at the moment, he just wants to get in front and get a move on.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the TC2 class, John Philippi goes around the outside of Pasquale Di Sabatino for second at Les Combes, and Norbert Nagy trying to stick his nose in there as well in the other Seat. Great battle here. They're 3.5 seconds behind Franz Engsler, and that gap is only going to grow, Matt, as they trip each other up and arm wrestle round the corners, because Engsler on his own will go quicker, smoother, and pull away. There he is, our TC2 leader.
Yeah, OK, Engsler's got to punch his own way through the air, and he's got his own drag, but these three are going to be tripping all over themselves as they scrap, because especially with the BMWs faster in certain sections and slower in others, and the Seat. So this is going to only aid Franz.
So Di Sabatino in the middle there. Drive-through penalty for car number 25 for exceeding the track limits, and that is Mehdi Bennani. And also for Hugo Valente, out of fourth place, he will get a drive-through penalty as well. As Lopez throws it up the inside of Sebastian Loeb at the bus stop, parks it on the apex. Loeb is going the long way round, wheel to wheel, and now he's going to win the sprint down to the first corner. Loeb's on your left, he's got the advantage. He's got track position, he will hold on to second place, but Lopez came out late there, Matt, and caught Loeb by surprise.
Yeah, I thought that was a cracking move, touring car move off Lopez, get in there and then block him, but Loeb amazingly went all the way around the outside, and then so Lopez went wide into La Source for turn one, trying to get the cut back, so Loeb drove him wide and kept him wide. It was a good bit of brinksmanship on both parts.
Look at the way the car is lifted off the track as it hits the curbs all the way through Eau Rouge.
Watch this though, Martin. Lopez should get a cracking slipstream down here.
He's right with him. Now he is moving it up a gear. We're nearly halfway into the race. We're on lap 4 of 9.
He doesn't seem to be able to use it though. Yeah, and Valente's still there, you know, punching the lap times. They're not dropping him.
Yeah, but he's got that drive-through penalty hanging over his head, which he will have to do, which will move Morbidelli, Montero, Coronel, Mikulic, Tarquini and Borkovic up to the battle for fourth, basically. Lopez. Oh, I thought he got through there for a moment. No, he's still in third place behind Loeb.
It's obvious Lopez is the quicker of the two at the moment.
Ooh, track limits. All four wheels inside the white line there for Sebastian Loeb in defence. Now, whether they're going to look at that, corner one is one of the corners that we were told they'd be looking at.
I think it's the exit more than the apex.
I'm sorry, the white line, again, you know, we get back to the argument yesterday, white lines are white lines. It's about 8 wide here. This is the battle now for 5th place. Thiago Montero goes through, and we're on board with Tom Coronel. He's trying to use the toe of Montero. There's Tarquini, and they're all going right by him. This is like NASCAR on an oval, hung out to dry. If you haven't got a towing buddy, you don't get through. And was that Borkovic going around the outside, or was that Morbidelli? Oh, and Huff in replay. Sorry, didn't see the little replay logo coming up there as I look back from my timing screen. That's what happened to him.
Poor old Huff, he's not having a good weekend of it at the minute, is he? With his Nürburgring stuff.
Yeah, he got on the oil and off he went.
He wasn't helped by Quincamar there, was he?
I don't think so. I think that was probably oil. Now then, Loeb is consolidating his second place. Lopez drops back a couple of car lengths as they run up the hill towards the bus stop.
Now, the big problem for Lopez now is he's been following so closely for, you know, the first 4 laps that engine temperature is going to start rising, and as your engine temperature rises, your horsepower drops away because it starts to go into a little wee bit of a safe mode. But also he starts to lose some of the downforce, so the aerodynamic grip, which starts to work his tyres harder. So he's either got to make it count or he's got to drop back, let the engine recover, let the tyres recover, and then have another stab of it. Then he'll have to ride having a challenge of Muller off and just go for second place later in the race.
He came here 39 points ahead of Ivan Muller. That's down to 41 rather. That's down to 39 after qualifying. So he can afford maybe to give up a few points, but he doesn't want to keep doing that. Valente must serve his drive-through on this lap. Loeb and Lopez wheel to wheel, and again the Argentine trying to go the long way round the Alsatian. This is the home race realistically for Ivan Muller and for Sebastian Loeb. They're both from Alsace in the northeast corner of France, close to the German border, so this is as close as they get to home as their local fans get to a home race for them. And behind, Norbert Mikulic, Gabriele Tarquini, this is 8th and 9th. Tom Coronel's got by and gone. And then behind, Dusan Borkovic, Quincamar and Tom Chilton, 10th, 11th, 12th. And of course, these will all move up one spot as the drive-through penalty is taken by Hugo Valente. And if it's not taken by Hugo Valente, they'll move up one spot anyway because he'll be excluded.
So much for my theory that Jose Maria Lopez is dropping back to save his tyres and engine. He's just gone and smacked in the fastest first sector by half a second quicker than Loeb.
And again,
now, so he's on the move again.
That's probably slipstream up the hill. In fact, Ivan Muller just set the fastest race lap, not the last lap, but the one previously, 2:26.5. He did a 2:26.8 last time round. So Muller really, really pushing hard, saving nothing.
Yeah, this is exactly what Muller needs. He needs these two scrapping with each other. I mean, he was a different person after qualifying. You could see he was up, he was more upbeat. You know, he's been down the last couple of races. It just hasn't been going his way. But all we need is a couple of good results for the Frenchman, and you're going to see a totally different battle in, you know, going forward.
He's got his daughter here. In fact, he's got both his daughters here, and Justine, his girlfriend, and feeling very much relaxed at home. There is the Zengo Motorsport team pit wall. And their man Norbert Mikelic in 8th place at the moment. Gianni Morbidelli holding on to 4th or 5th ahead of Thiago Monteiro. And Norby just in front of Gabriele Tarquini.
You know, what will be happening as well is the Citroën engineers will be on the radio to all their guys, as will all the teams be, saying that have been drive-through penalties already being dished out for Valenti, as we're just seeing there, and Bernani. So they'll be telling their drivers, you've got to be super careful, otherwise you are going to get pinged.
Bernani served his early. Valente left it as long as he could, trying to keep with the slipstream of the Citroëns. And again, the third car in your shot, our championship leader, Jose Maria Lopez, trying to get around Sebastian Loeb. Hasn't looked inside yet, keeps looking at the outside. Now, does that suggest to you that on the last lap he'll lunge up the inside?
I'll tell you what, considering Loeb's comparative lack of experience in touring car racing, he's picked up the tactics pretty well, hasn't he? He's driving a very wide car there.
He is. He's a very sharp operator. Dusan Borkovic, Quinn Huamar and Tom Chilton.
Look at his front screen. It's almost completely inverted.
Now, has something hit it? Or is it just popped out of its mounting and therefore just being pushed back by the air?
That could have been a little bit of the problem from qualifying, like it's not sealed properly.
That's entirely possible. It has clearly popped out of the frame. The corners are sticking way out of it. That's not just the windscreen strip, that's the windscreen.
It's almost like it's been put in the wrong way around, isn't it?
And they're not glass, they're Lexan, aren't they? They're bulletproof plastic, and yeah, the engineers are seeing it now.
That's dangerous. He needs to
get a black and orange flag, actually, to get him off the racetrack. Because if that flies off, it is bulletproof. It will go straight through somebody else's car. Huff and Bernani, the battle for 15th place after Mehdi served his drive-through. Honda goes through past the Lada up at Les Combes as Muller continues to build his lead. He's now 3 seconds clear of Loeb. Loeb at the beginning of the lap was 0.6 clear of Lopez. That's looking more like 1.2 seconds now.
Chilton's made very good progress, considering he started dead last off the grid, and he's back up to 12th now. You know, he's going to be, if he could work at it, get back into the top 10.
Well, and Borkovic 10th from absolutely stone last, 21st on the grid. Chilton, as you said, was left at the start, so he was sort of last and a 10-second penalty, if you like. Great battle going on here. Morbidelli, Montero, Coronel. This is for best non-Citroën. So for 4th position at the moment, Gianni Morbidelli could score another big hatful of points here. Morbidelli showing lots of class this year in the All-Inkle Motorsport Chevrolet. The team are new to the car. He's new to the team. He's new, or returns to the championship after many years away. A lot of the circuits he does know, but learning the car and sorting it out, I mean, he admitted after qualifying that they didn't really know where they were going, and yet when it gets to racing, he's an old-fashioned boy. He rolls his sleeves up, and Matt, he really knows what he's doing. Same as Loeb and Lopez, just getting on with this great battle for second.
Lopez, this is getting good now. Lopez is getting a little bit irritable. He's having enough of Loeb's tactics.
Another fastest first sector of the race for Jose Maria Lopez. That's what the slipstream does for you. And Loeb is driving a great race, trail breaking deep into Rivage, losing no ground where it counts against Jose Maria Lopez.
Quinn Mars still managing to keep going.
Yeah.
But those lead 3 Citroëns now, they are 2.5 seconds quicker than anybody else out there. So, well, certainly got consistency nailed.
To put it into perspective, Muller and Lopez, fastest laps both in the 2:26s, Mar in the 2:28s. So he can't anywhere near match the pace of the front runners, whereas in free practice he was right in amongst them, 2nd, 3rd, 4th quickest.
No, that's Mar's best lap.
Yeah, that's his best lap.
2:31s now.
Yeah. And yet Muller is still in the 26s. So Mar's in traffic, he's in a bit of a battle, but he is still 5 seconds slower than his teammates. And lots of dust being kicked up everywhere. This is almost like a desert track now, as opposed to the green, verdant pastures of Spa-Francorchamps. Gabriele Tarquini still trying to find a way by Norbert Mikelic.
Yeah, Tarquini is still in fight-back mode. He's got back up to 8th place, but he's not going to be happy after that first lap incident sort of dropped him down the order.
Thiago Monteiro, 4th in the championship, best Honda driver, and again, best Honda driver in this race. He is having another really good start to the weekend. You know, he's habitually been the one of the two who has struck bad luck more often. This year, he actually seems to be getting a bit of a rub of the green.
Yeah, Monteiro, he didn't seem to go his way the last couple of years, and I thought it might be a front-wheel drive thing, you know, because he's historically a rear-wheel drive man. But he really seems to have found his mojo this year, and he's taken a proper good fight to Gabrielli on the inter-team, you know, who could be quickest. Well,
you know from your own racing, Matt, you know, when things are going against you, it's very hard to pick yourself up week after week and really outperform yourself. But when things are going well, it seems the most natural thing in the world. Everything flows, and it all just seems to be going your way. You know, as ever, nothing stays the same forever. Bernani and Munich battling as Bernani goes by René Munich for 14th place.
There's a couple of good scraps going on down the field. We've got the Chilton, Mar, Borkovic scrap. It'd be nice to have a quick butchers at them. And also the Monteiro's only half a second behind Morbidelli.
Yep.
For being the next best of the rest.
And Coronel just behind them, and you got Michelic, Tarquini, and of course for the podium places as Muller races by, you've got Loeb and Lopez just 7/10 apart. Well, there is Borkovic just easing away from Qinghua Ma. The Citroen driver is holding up Tom Chilton.
Go on, Tom.
Holding up and holding off the Royal Motorsport Chevrolet. Mum and Dad are here this weekend. So too is his fiancée Elle and their little baby boy who turns 1 next week.
Freddie.
He's a big lad, isn't he? He is just a little bundle of joy. Now, a warning about track limits again at turn 3, which is the left-handed uphill part of Eau Rouge for Mikhail Kozlovsky. You're not allowed to cut it too much. It really helps your speed up the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, the problem for Monteiro now is that that Chevy engine is very strong at the top end, and with the long straights we've got here at Spa, he's going to struggle in the slipstream.
Yeah, he's trying to slipstream up behind Morbidelli and stay away from Coronel, and in fact, that battle 4th, 5th and 6th is getting closer and closer. Just behind this duo, I think Lopez now has just relaxed a little and settled behind.
I don't know, Martin. He's going to get the last lap board, so we'll see. He could make one big final push. It'd be interesting to watch.
Well, we know from his previous exploits in World Touring Cars in Argentina last year and since the start of this year in the Citroen that he is a proper racer. He's very relaxed, he's very confident, and if there's a sniff, I'm sure he'll give it a go. Here's the battle for 4th. Black car Morbidelli. We're on board with Thiago Monteiro, and right behind is Tom Coronel. The gap covering the 3 of them is 1.1 seconds as Lopez predictably comes right up behind Sebastian Loeb. I said he was trying the outside every other lap. Would he send it round the inside this time? But he's going outside. He made Loeb defend, and now he's got through. And those points might be absolutely critical in Macau at the end of the year.
That's the old Andy Priault syndrome, isn't it? Fight for every last point, because that's
never leave a point on the
table.
Exactly right. It might come down to 1, and especially now when these 3 drivers started the season knowing without question one of them would be world champion. Behind, Borkovic 9th, Ma 10th, Chilton 11th. And looks now as though Ma is attacking Borkovic rather than defending from Chilton. Maybe Tom's asked too much of his tyres. Last lap for Morbidelli, Tarquini. Beg your pardon, Morbidelli Monteiro, isn't it? Monteiro again kicking up the dirt there.
Borkovic has moved up on the back of him, so Monteiro needs to just watch his move.
That's Tom Coronel.
Oh, is it?
In fact, they are dropping him. He was 0.6 behind last lap. He's 0.8 behind this lap. It looks as though the Honda has got more tyre under it than the Chevrolet at the moment. Monteiro not close enough as they come through Pif Paf. Heading down towards Stavelot, and then the long climb up towards the bus stop. Ivan Muller's already out there, pitches the car in. See, now he doesn't care that the tail is stepping around. That's what he wants. It's just the confidence to deal with it that he was missing a little. Into the bus stop for the final time. An exemplary performance from Ivan Muller. Pole position, dominated the run to the first corner and left his teammates to squabble. He takes victory, but only 7 points closer to Jose Maria Lopez, who is second, and Sebastian Loeb in third. The sort out for fourth. Montero, is he going to be able to use the extra grip? No, Morbidelli gets the door shut, parks it in the corner, and right behind comes Coronel. He's got a quicker run through the corner. He's going to overhaul the Honda at the line. It's going to be fourth Morbidelli, fifth Coronel, and sixth Thiago Montero. And Gianni Morbidelli, fourth position. And he will start race 2 from pole. Well, 1, 2, 3 for Citroën, and did we doubt it after qualifying, Matt? Such was their pace.
You know, you look at the result, you go, oh yeah, another Citroën 1, 2, 3, but the result doesn't do justice to the type of racing that was out there. There was some cracking racing all the way through the field and internally at Citroën, which is great to see.
Yeah. The gloves are off, as they have been all season, apart from in Marrakesh, where they just wanted to reduce the damage. Hugo Valente retired on the last lap, didn't come by us. So